Hello everyone, welcome for another episode of the lichess bot series. Our next opponent is TigerEngine, which we're going to challenge as usual in 1510 rated. Let's go. Alright, so knight c3, this is not common. d5 is logical because I'm just aiming for d4. Okay. So d4 is played. Okay, so d4, what I'm seeing is these squares. Specifically this one. So it feels like this is the move, preventing e4, adding support to this, and there's not going to be any c4, at least not anytime soon, which is the drawback of knight c3. So I think we can safely play this. Anything else? Like this also prevents e4. Is there a reason to play this instead of the knight first? Not seeing it. So going back to general principles, develop pieces starting with knights. When in doubt, follow the... just do that. Okay, so c5. c5, g6, what can I do here? c5, say it takes, can I push? Not really. I would have to do this first. Then I'm threatening to push, which he could stop with e3, for example. But then I would have this, and okay, I think that should be fine. But do I have to go for c5? Yeah, okay. Okay, I like c5 because I'm deflecting this pawn. g6, bishop g7 is another option. Yeah, he's not going to play e4 anytime soon, so I think I can just be patient. Let's be patient. g6 is fine. No need to... okay. Aiming at c7, so typically ideas of knight b5 can be annoying, but knight b5 is met with knight a6 and then c6. So I think we don't have to react to that immediately. c6, of course, is a way to prevent knight b5 completely. But it feels a bit premature, like he's not really threatening anything. Now let's re-examine c5 now, because he's weak in this square. So if he takes, yeah, I can go back, I can go here. No, I have a problem here. No. I think okay, let's start with that. Yeah, so that we just said can be met with knight a6 and c6 to get rid of the knight. So first c6, get rid of the knight, then castle, and then we'll see. Okay, so queen b6 actually is interesting. Hitting the pawn, but rook b1, and then where's my follow-up? Not so clear. Let's start with castling. So is he threatening anything? Is bishop takes a6 a problem? On paper I get double pawns, but he also gives me the bishop pair. Should I be worried about this? I'm not so sure. Actually, his bishop is annoying. His bishop on e5 is annoying because if I play knight d7, he can take my bishop. I don't really want to exchange those bishops, which means that the only other way to get rid of this bishop is with this knight, like this. First of all, it's slow. Secondly, what will it achieve? Let's say I take on e5, he replaces the bishop with a knight, and then I can get rid of the knight with knight back to d7, knight f7. Okay. It's quite slow. I mean, it's an idea, but it just feels a bit slow. Like, what about just this? Yeah, but here I'm looking a bit silly because I can't go back here, obviously. I would have to either take or go back, but like where? There? It feels a bit weird. Queen b6 is another idea. Queen b6, what does that really do? Yeah, just doing this, it just looks so strange. Going all the way back there. Okay, maybe I give the bishop pair. Maybe I just do this willingly. And I say, okay, I don't have a light square bishop, but I'm controlling the light squares. I'm going to put my pawns on light squares. Then I want knight b8. He doesn't have time for queen a4 because I play knight b8 first. Okay, let's try that. I'm not sure if it's reasonable to give the bishop pair like this, but I'm lacking space, and I think removing pieces makes sense in that context. So here I wanted knight b8, going to d7. Knight b8, any problem? Any tricks? Is he threatening anything? Can I just play queen b6 straight away to threaten b2 and then rook b1, or even castles actually? Not sure. I mean, do I get an attack if he castles? Castles knight b4, king b1. Not convincing. I mean, it's possible. Okay, I think knight b. Yeah, but if I. Yeah, okay. If queen b6, I'll still be able to play knight b8. So I think let's try, just to see how he reacts to this. And he castles. Okay, so my idea was knight b4, but he doesn't have to move the king actually. In fact, he doesn't have to do anything. I'm not really threatening anything at this point. So knight b8, d7 is very slow to get rid of the bishop. Knight d7, knight c7, sorry, is faster, but it doesn't get rid of the bishop. On the other hand, knight c7, there's a5 coming faster. I'm not sure. Should I go one tempo faster in order to get rid of this? Sorry, one tempo slower to get rid of this, or one tempo faster for this. So it's between this, and this. What is the best use of two tempos, basically? How do I get most bang for my buck? Think of tempo as a budget, if you like, and try to maximize your return on investment. So knight b8. a5 is not really a threat. Let's think of it as best case scenario. Suppose I spend 1, 2, 3, 4 tempos. Okay, maybe, okay, this is not, this again I lose a tempo, but I get it back. Okay, I mean, it's just so slow, and it's not clear where my attack is. Like this. That's like 4 tempos to do what exactly? And then this, and then he can just ignore me. Even if he just does this. Oh, no, sorry. No, he can't really ignore me. I don't know. I feel like this is too slow. Knight c7 is one tempo faster, but it doesn't get rid of the bishop. Do I have to get rid of the bishop? I kind of like it, because I feel like eventually I'll get my tempo back by hitting this. Okay, this is extremely weird, so let's verify. No tricks. No, I think it's fine. It's a very strange move to go back to b8. But it feels justified because of knight bd7. No immediate threat. Now I'm making a threat, which is to take on e5. And he doesn't care. Interesting. Okay, so I can start. No, I don't want to start with this because there's this. No, that's annoying. And if this bishop takes, what is this? Takes. Bishop takes, knight takes. Takes. The alternative is to take with a pawn. If I take with a pawn, he has to react. Okay. Okay, this feels right actually. This, say he does that. He has this intermediate move because it's check. That's gonna be annoying. Takes. But let's see. This hit the queen, this because it's check. But I can just go here, right? And then if he takes back, I believe I win a pawn in this line. It's one of the many lines where I win a pawn, but this one feels a bit less forcing. I'm giving him more choice and keeping more pieces on the board. Okay, so takes on e5 was the move. What else is there? Let's keep our eyes open, we never know. Okay, I think I take on e5, and he's gonna take on f6 with check, but that's okay. Or not. Okay. It's not completely obvious to get the pawn in this line. Okay, so what about this? Hitting this twice. He can't defend it twice, but any tricks, if he pushes, I take. What can he do? Can this cause problem? What's the alternative? This? Say this. I'm not winning this one. Okay. This, I don't like this loose knight, but what can he do? I think I can get away with this. I hope so. Oh, but that's even better, because here I simplify. And I win a clean pawn. Let's see, is it a clean pawn? Any tricks? No, I think there are no tricks. So, yeah, we want to take with the knight, of course, because the knight on d7 is our weakness. Okay, so he doesn't want to allow this exchange, which makes complete sense. I think we want to take over the file. Yeah, I just want to take over the okay. Yeah, but we're making progress here. He doesn't want to exchange, which is understandable, but the result of that is we're getting squares here. This knight is a little bit annoying. So if I kick it this way, I'm creating all sorts of holes there, so that's not good. What I can do is this and then this. But again, if this, he can go here. So which hole should I plug first? This one or this one? Put it this way. Let's look at all these forward squares and remove them. Which one is most urgent? Okay, if he goes... Honestly, I don't really know. Let's do nothing and be patient. Remove the forward squares with the knight and then kick it. Simple plan. Again, he's not threatening anything. Removing more squares. And then we want to kick the knight with f5. Just making sure that we're solid after f5. Where does the knight go? c3, g3, I think we're good. So I think we can play f5. The knight will go to one of these squares. What what's the follow-up after that? Perhaps we can just double rooks. Yeah, I think that's fine. Although f5 is, we are creating a hook. He wants to play g4 now. We've given him g4 to open our position. Although we could then play e6 in case of g4. So e6, g4, takes, and we retake with the pawn, so that's one option. Another option is to completely ignore his g4 idea and just try to... So say he does this. Should I be worried about it? Maybe not. I can play this after. This... yeah, a little annoying. No, again this. Okay, I think I can start with that. With the idea of doubling rooks. And if, okay, no g4, no e4, okay. So, anything preventing me from doubling rooks here? Anything better I can do? Checks, captures, and threats, not seeing anything. Doubling rooks feels correct. A5, let's say a4. Do I gain anything? Not clear. I think I can start with that. Okay, but what does that really do? Well, first of all, I can take the bishop. I'm not sure. Where's the trick? Takes. It feels good for me. Could have moved the king as well. Could have pushed the pawn and then moved the king, but taking the bishop, I think, is more ambitious. So here, rook d2 looks very natural. So say rook d2. I'm threatening this, obviously. So either he's going passive with something like this, or maybe this, but yeah. If he moves the knight, he has a problem here. I don't think he can move the... Okay, we have to be very careful. He can try to trap the rook. Is this a problem? No. Because I have rook takes g2. I don't think he's getting away with a free rook at the end of all this. I think I should be able to deal with this kind of trick. I think rook takes g2 and he won't be able to... Yeah, so he's going passive, which is what we want. So bishop c3, what does that really threaten? Takes, bishop takes. So bishop c3. Okay, this is a weakness. How do I attack it? Hard to do. Extremely hard to do. Maybe I want to push this. Because how does he get counterplay? Most likely with this, and then he creates a square for the knight, and then suddenly his pieces come alive, and that's extremely annoying. So if this, he can still do this. But then takes. I don't think he gets away with this. No, I think, yeah. I think he loses a pawn, and it's not clear that he's got enough. Yeah, exactly. So now I get what I want. Because he couldn't play e4. Yeah, I underestimated that one. This is annoying. And there's no... this is so annoying because there's no king f7 here. Because takes, knight takes. I underestimated him. That was a mistake. Okay, bishop c3. Do I have a threat? If he takes, I take his knight. Yeah, I'm threatening his knight. Bishop c3. Knight takes, I take. Let's see. I think bishop c3 creates a threat of taking here, deflecting this rook, and then taking this one. But let's see. This, what can he do? He doesn't really have time to go this way. I think I just take the knight. Yeah, okay. So, and does he have any good squares for the knight? My bishop looks better here. Okay. I can never get away with... How do I get rid of this? So again, I can never play king f7. Ah, if I could check... Ah, interesting. If I could open the b file, a check here is mate, right? So let's see. This, if he pushes this pawn, is going to fall one way or another. Yeah, this feels right. Yes, he's going to take on f5, and I take back, and that's okay. Okay, so here I want to rook on the b file. I want to open the b file. So if I take, I'm closing the b file. This is stupid. But rook b8, let's see. Rook b8, there's just a slight problem. Rook b8, of course he's not going to... Well, he can't take. He's going to do this, let's say. Takes, rook takes is mate. But that's the cooperative line. The problem with this is he can start with this. No. He cannot because I take the pawn. Ah, I have a mate threat. I have priority. He cannot start with this. This is mate. Ah, no, it's not mate. What am I saying? No, it's not mate, but it is it must be winning. It must be winning. It has to be winning. How do I win this? Bishop check doesn't win. Wow, this is unbelievable. Takes. Okay. Still not winning. Okay. This is still not winning. Okay, I need to be extremely careful. Okay, can I just liquidate everything? I mean, given the time situation, this has to be the way to go. It's probably not the best move, but I just don't have time to calculate anything else, or in fact anything at all. So I feel like simplifying is helpful. How do I do something useful? Ah, okay. This maybe? Forcing at least a pawn push. Now I need to go and collect this pawn with my king. The problem is I've got all sorts of weaknesses here. So what does he want? He wants a knight here most likely. No, that's not going to happen. How else does he target this? With a knight here. Hard to do. Here, no. Okay, I think I'm fine here. I want this. So how does he get this pawn? Aha, by going here, of course. How else does he target the pawn? I think it's time to do some prophylaxis. We have to prevent knight... What is this? Okay, I'm not sure I understand the point of this. Yes, and what exactly does that do? Okay. Okay, again attacking my pawn, but my bishop's taking care of it. Now I want my h-pawn to promote. Any threat? Not really. I think the bishop takes care of this knight quite nicely. Not sure what that does really. 3 moves away from promotion. Yeah, that just looks like a useless move, knight g8. Okay. Can I just remove this knight completely? No, I can't quite win the knight. Okay, let's see. If I do this, he's got more checks. And then this, and then he runs out of checks. Okay. He cannot check me anymore. At least not immediately. He needs at least 2 tempos to check me, and then this is unstoppable. He cannot stop the queen now. So it's going to be made very, very soon. Okay, king takes. Okay, we don't need to be fancy here and find the fastest path to checkmate, especially when short on time. Let's just collect all the pawns. The more pawns I remove, the easier it is, because it just gives me space to checkmate him cleanly. Like there's probably ways to checkmate fast. But should we care? I think that's simple enough. Yeah. Remove pawns, remove pawns. Okay. Yeah. Finally, the queen starts to get closer. Okay, of course, if he exchanges, it's easily winning. He can, okay. He can exchange, but it just makes it easier for me. Okay, so I think now we want to just, yeah, the simplest is to just move the king and checkmate with the king and queen now, because he's stuck on the A file. No escape, so it's going to be easy. He still has a square. It's very important to never let him walk into a stalemate. Okay. So let's see this game. So what does Stockfish have to say about this? Perhaps we can start with the lichess database. So what did we do? All this is normal. Knight f6 is the most common. Okay, it's a good move. c5 apparently gives slightly better results here, you see. 49% for black. So it's worth exploring. It's a gambit. It's probably objectively a little bit dubious, but practically works well. This, okay, g6 is probably not the move. I mean, at least not the most common move. Wow, g6 is so rare. Nobody plays that. But actually it gives good results, so g6 is a good practical move. And then what did we play? Bishop g7 is the most common. We played that. It's a good move. Okay, so this, of course, knight a6 I think is the only reasonable move. c6 most common, also makes sense. Get rid of the knight. Castling is the most common, which is what we did. All this is good. It's validated by the computer as well as by the practical play on lichess at this level. Okay, now bishop g4 is suspicious. Okay, this is where I actually took a long time for this move. I didn't know what to do, and I was a bit searching for a plan here. And I thought, okay, maybe just bishop g4 and get rid of the bishop pair, and you know. Stockfish is not impressed with this. Indeed, once you've played this, you kind of commit, you have to do that. But there must have been something better to do. Let's see, bishop, okay, knight b, yeah. Wow, you see? Knight b8 immediately. Knight b8 was on my radar, but actually later on, I think it was after in the game that I wanted to play this. Or maybe I wanted to play this right away, I can't remember. But again, knight b8 with the idea of knight bd7 and kicking this this bishop. Yeah, I did consider it. So, okay. It looks a bit strange to go back, but sometimes it's the right thing to do. Yeah, this was apparently a bit naive, because it doesn't really threaten much. Okay, it threatens the b2 pawn, but yeah, I'm not causing problem, because it's not as if by playing this he's creating real weaknesses that I can exploit. On the contrary, it's probably a move he wants to play. So it's not clear that. On the other hand, if I do this, let's see, what is the threat? So if it's black's turn to play, there is at least a threat, which is knight e4. Whereas you see queen b6, where is the threat? Well, of course the threat is b2, but the point is, after he castles, they haven't achieved much. So, okay, that's a fair point. Knight b8, finally, the correct move, which I should have played earlier. Okay, we can remove that. Yes. Okay, that obviously was a mistake, because it gives me a pawn. Okay, d takes was correct, but it's not the only way to... Okay, knight takes, basically every capture was correct. Yeah, knight takes, d takes, correct. Here knight takes bishop is correct, which I did. Takes, okay. All this is correct. Bishop f1. Bishop h6. I missed this. Bishop h6 is quite nasty. Okay, I played this, which is the second best move, and maybe third best move, rook a8 apparently, but I think this is also a good move, but bishop h6, interesting. Improve the bishop with the free tempo, because really it just forces this. And then I have an improved version. In fact, apparently the rook a d8 is more precise. Instead of going straight for this, he didn't have to do that. This is the point. Okay, but anyway, he misplayed, so it turned out well. Again, this bishop h6 idea, even though... interesting. You see, I want to remove these squares. So this one I removed. I want to remove this square and then kick the knight. Computer says, no. You use this and you target that. Okay. Bishop e2, he played one of the best moves. This is... I think the whole idea of h6 and f5 was suspicious. My whole plan of removing the squares for the knight was wrong. Even b6, my idea of b6 to remove this square, then this to remove this square, all that to do that, first of all, it takes a lot of time. And it's not even clear that it's a good thing to achieve, even if my opponent just lets me do it. Because the computer says, yeah, you kind of blew away half of your advantage here, you created weaknesses. I have these hooks now that he's going to be able to exploit to open the position and create some counterplay. So in a way, I've done a bit of a self-destruction here. It wasn't very smart. But okay, I mean, it is what it is. We make mistakes. Yes, I felt like e4 at some point could be annoying. Okay, this is obviously a mistake. This is completely logical, and you see knight d3. Knight d3 annoying. Even though it gives a pawn, the rook will have problems. So it's considered the best move by the computer. Still winning for black, but you know, can set up some tricks. It's easy to get the rook trapped. Yeah, he can play e4. I was worried about e4 and g4 actually, but mostly e4. And I thought I want to play e4 myself before he can play it. And it turns out he can play e4 immediately. But even better is g4 apparently. So anyway, he misplayed this and allowed me e4. Although e4 is still not the best move. Because apparently the thread that I missed is really g4, not so much e4. But okay. And he finally plays g4. And then I realized, I think at this point I realized that I underestimated this g4 and it's a bit annoying. This was a good move with this idea of threatening rook takes f2. Okay, maybe the most precise plan was to go for this. Threatening to double on the second rank. But okay, this felt like a natural idea. And once he takes, how is this a mistake? a4 takes, where's the, he can escape. King a2, yeah, he can escape. Yeah, I think it was a bit naive here. Of course he messed up, which was lucky for me, but it wasn't the most precise to go for this opening of the b file. I'm just lacking a tempo in this line to make it really forcing. Okay, I think this was a good practical decision, especially given the time situation. In fact, it's also a good theoretical decision because the endgame is better for black here. The computer agrees with all this. Even this is correct. This is correct, and it's completely logical. This is fine. Basically, everything is correct at this point, all the way until this, apparently, but you know, it's already losing no matter what he does. Yeah, everything is correct after that for black. Yeah, there's just no more mistakes, so it's all fine. Okay, there we go. So what's the accuracy? Oh wow, 95% accuracy, 5 inaccuracies, no mistakes, no blunders. Okay, so it's not too bad.